Boris Johnson is in India. The British Prime Minister has been wanting to visit India for a while. He was supposed to attend India's Republic Day celebrations. That did not happen. Now the visit is finally happening, but not in a way that he would have imagined. The Partygate scandal is casting a shadow on this visit. Johnson could face an inquiry for misleading the parliament. His political future is at stake. Can a visit to India change Johnson's fortunes? On Gravitas tonight, we will discuss. We start off with the events from this morning. Boris Johnson began his trip in Ahmedabad today in the Indian state of Gujarat. Johnson is on a two-day visit. The British Prime Minister's first stop was the Sabarmati Ashram. He paid his tributes to Mahatma Gandhi there. Johnson's first engagements have been carefully crafted. You see, the UK wants a trade deal with India by the end of this year. But Britain's colonial past could come in the way. So Johnson started his India visit by paying his respects to the father of the nation. He also met with Indian business owners and inaugurated a factory. There, Johnson did not miss an opportunity to highlight the potential of the India-UK ties.
I don't think at any time in my political lifetime has the living bridge between the UK and India really been so strong. And just on this trip, we've got about £1 billion worth of investment coming from India into the UK. They're the second biggest investor in the UK. That investment alone is going to drive 11,000 jobs. We're hoping to complete another free trade agreement with India by the end of the year, by the autumn. And already you're seeing products like UK medical supplies, British apples, getting ready to come onto the Indian market even before the deal is done.
Johnson is certainly excited about the idea of a trade deal. For this visit alone, deals worth $1 billion are on the table. What about the trade deal? It is still being discussed. The negotiations are going to be tough. For India, there are two clear issues that need to be addressed. Number one, visas. New Delhi would want more visas for Indians to work in the UK. Also, cheaper visa fees. Successive Conservative governments in London have been tough on immigration. They have actively tried to install more barriers for Indians. The previous British Prime Minister, Theresa May's policies had led to a row. She had visited New Delhi in 2016. According to one British official, it was a total disaster. What about Boris Johnson? He has indicated some flexibility. Before arriving in India, Johnson said he is always in favor of talented people coming to his country. Will that position translate into more visas for Indians? We will have to see. The second issue is about access. The barriers that Indian businesses face when they try to access British markets. Indian goods and services are subjected to strict curbs. New Delhi is expected to bring this up during the talks. So that's about trade. What else is on the agenda? Defense ties and the Indo-Pacific, new age technologies, green energy, and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The last time the British government brought that issue up, the conversation did not end well. A few weeks ago, the British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss was in India. She brought up the issue of Russian oil and tried to nudge India towards abandoning its purchases. It had led to a sharp rebuke from the Indian External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar.
I was just reading a report today that in the month of March, Europe has bought, I think, 15% more oil and gas from Russia than it did the month before. If you look at the major buyers of oil and gas from Russia, I think you'd find most of them are in Europe.
And taking lessons from the past, Boris Johnson is trying to handle the subject carefully. He acknowledged today India and Russia have had a historical relationship and recognized New Delhi's strong condemnation of the Bucha killings. So the issue of Ukraine is not expected to dominate the talks between the two leaders. But Johnson is unable to shake off the Partygate scandal. He was asked about it in India as well.
Let me just say, I'm very keen for every possible form of scrutiny, and if the House of Commons can do, I think, whatever it wants to do. But all I would say is I don't think that that should happen until the investigation is completed, and that's my only point. I've said this time and time again. Let's let the investigators do their stuff, and then knock this thing on the head.
As Johnson was meeting dignitaries in India, back home in London, the British Parliament was debating his future. Recently, Johnson was found guilty of breaking the law. Despite a lockdown, he attended a party. Johnson ended up paying a fine for the violation, but the opposition wants more. They want the Parliament to investigate the Prime Minister.
So no one can say there is prejudice. This is about honesty, integrity and telling the truth in this place. And it's an important principle, and it's one we all share. As I say, I'm not claiming this as a Labour Party principle. It is a principle that we all share because we know the importance of it. That's why it's a matter for the House to consider. But it is a principle under attack because the Prime Minister has been accused of repeatedly, deliberately and routinely misleading this House over parties held in Downing Street during lockdown.
Contempt of Parliament. That is the charge that has been levied against Boris Johnson. If the opposition manages to launch a probe, this could overshadow Boris Johnson's visit to India. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.